satisfied that as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, we are giving something to the society back. But even though something was haunting in our mind, we can give something better, but we are not able to. That we can give something better which you are not able to. As a businessman, as a brand owner of a rice, as a staple trader, what better we can give? So the tame the hectic situation of COVID by it to the open market, which can serve our basic purpose of giving back to the society. So the thought of fortification of rice came. So we started working on it from January 2022. It took a long year and came into process. The 9 micronutrition and vitamin combination was a unique one, and it's the best possible thing what we could able to do. So to tell about nutrition, to tell about making of kernels, we have experts from tech, and we have our special nutritionists and our scientists. They will tell that better. As a businessman, we thought this we can give it to the society, and how we to plan it. We took an initiative, we took a bold step that we will get this 9 micronutrient to the market. In the January 2023, we launched it. Before that, the same way we called all the press meet. First, we initially launched in Goa, where we have a strong command of our brand. So when people have acceptance of our brand name Panchamrutha, because they have that trust, we have confidence, they will accept if at all we convey them. We took it little easier and we thought it would be long, but later it was very adverse. People all of a sudden started. Who told you to introduce this? One yellow grain coming in the rice, they were very much panicked. Is it good? Is it bad? Then we started an awareness campaign. We launched a call center. We hired all the media agencies because media partners are very important. They gave fantastic infrastructure and social media everything. Over the time of 90 days, everybody came to know what is fortification and its advantages. Slowly, after 90 days, people started asking, we need fortified rice. That gave us a courage that by converting one brand into fortification, we converted all our rice brands into fortification. Then later we slowly started into Kochil, Karnataka, Maharashtra, then Hubli, Dharwad. So it is the journey what we started, and there is a very good response. As a businessman, we should take some initiative rather than by regular paying taxes, by regular responsibility. We should become an example. That is my thought to convey to people. We should become an example to the people that something better what we give back to the society. The way I want to say, food is the medicine. The way that is rice, the staple food of South India, wherein 2 times a day we consume. That will solve the micronutrient deficiency, which will be explained better by experts. But this initiative and my request to all the businessmen to make awareness of fortification. Either it is Panchamrutha or any other brand. But as a businessman, I take this chance to take a lead by promoting my brand also and promoting the health of the society and to people to get all this fortified nutritious food. My request to all the business owners of Bangalore and the distributors to take this chance and promote this nutritious product in the market and take the advantage of this as a business also and to give it back to your people whom we are serving rice. You can proudly say, I am not serving you rice, I am not selling rice, I am selling nutrition. I am giving you nutrition. That is what I want to tell you. Further, I'll give it to the host. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that inspiring perspective and for reinforcing Panchamrutha's commitment to nutrition and quality. We are deeply honored to have with us today a leader who has played a pivotal role in strengthening public health system in Karnataka. We now invite perspectives from one of India's leading food research institutions, Dr. Usha Rani Dandamudi, Scientist F, Department of Food Safety and Analytic Quality Control, Laboratory, CSIR, CFTRI, will share valuable insights on fortifying our healthier future, benefits of rice fortification.
Ellarku namaskara. The rest of the talk will be in English, but I would cordially welcome all of you to understand about rice fortification and to understand about CSIR, CFTR. If you can I have these slides, please? To many of them who doesn't know about CFTRI, it is one of the CSIR lab, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, which keenly works on food innovations and technologies. We work mainly in nourishing the population so that we play a key role in understanding food, how food and nutrition play very promptly understanding the health diets. If you look into the nutritional scenario, which was indirectly is been explained by Abhishek, World Health Organization has found that there is a malnutrition in all across the globe. It is not only in the globe, but it is very severe in the case of India. You can see that it is around 20 to 30% as per the map. The main challenge in the nutritional status is it is not only that it is undernourished, but it is overnourished. The recent Lancet paper says that which is half of the population is actually undernourished and half of the population across the states is overnourished. Now what does that definition mean in a very simple term to a common man? I know that the next speaker, Pallavi ma'am, will explain more simplistic way in the clinical nutrition, but before understanding fortification, we should understand where we are and what should be our strategy so that we can consider food as a medicine. So here you can see that there are three forms of malnutrition, which is being classified either stunting, if any person or a child is small, low height or having a higher weight or more waist, we call them as stunting, or we can call them as having obesity or underweight or overweight. These challenges occur because there is no proper nutrition given to them. In India, to understand this, before independence, we were having a hunger which is actual days. The polishing was less, processing was less, so the brown rice still had nutrients. If you just take the macronutrients, the fiber, fat, and the ash, which basically contain minerals, you can clearly see that the rice, when it is being built, you are already losing it because all the essential nutrients are being majorly present in the bran, not in the endosperm. Endosperm contains only the carbohydrate, and that carbohydrate fraction is what, when you continuously eat the polished rice, you lose the most essential nutrients, and that's why we ended up in nutrient deficient condition, or we are facing hidden hunger. So this milling paradox, we milled the rice, we have processed the rice, double processed the rice, we will take and buy the rice only when it is nice, pure white in color. The consumer would like to have a polished rice because it cooks well and it tastes well because of too much of good amount of starch in it. So you would like to eat it. So to fortify this particular polished rice, you powder it, you add the nutrients and make using an extrusion technology, and then again blend back to the polished. In that way, we are trying to protect the nutrients present in that particular rice by adding new amount of fortified rice kernel. This technology in any kind of rice products, when they say that they have fortified, most of the that in whenever they actually take the product for preparation in their manufacturing, or the product when a consumer is taking, they look into 4 different qualities, whether what genetic variety or purity that they are taking, how is it physically present, is it having chalky grains, break or brokens, or is it having a chemical safety or nutritional value. They read the labels, they understand that whether it is nutrient rich or not. So it is important to understand the quality of the rice before you really try to understand its cooking properties or its related processing products. In a laboratory perspective, when we would like to see, because we come from a referral food laboratory where we ensure the consumer and also the manufacturer that the quality of the rice is in proper condition. When we analyze in the laboratory, we take the whole bulk of the sample and then distribute it and then check the physiochemical properties and see that is it meeting as per Food Safety Standard Authority of India, which is a mandatory regulation which every manufacturer, the food business operators and consumers comply to it to see that they meet to the correct standard. So it's important that whatever product that you prepare has to have a correct amount of moisture, should not have any kind of broken and damages, so that it ensures the proper health. The idea of a food business operator in this innovation of creating a product is to provide proper nutrition and proper quality assurance to the public. So in this regard, these important biological and chemical defects are very, very important, that any millers, when they purchase it, their initial raw material, they need to ensure that they do not have a heat damage or red kernels or chalky kernels or inorganic extraneous matter, because then you do not have the impact of whatever the healthy nutrient that you have added in that particular rice. So as Abhishek said, there are certain good food business operators who actually maintain proper hygiene, ensures correct sorting of the raw material or the rice before they start the fortification. When they ensure the proper grain and choose of correct variety, definitely the nutrient will be retained and it will assist for overcoming the hidden hunger. So when it is coming to the fortification, why people are talking about blending it, extruding it as a strategy? There are basically government promoted 2 strategies. One is biofortification, the other is World Food Program has approach for fortification. A biofortification means an agricultural chemist trying to change the genetic composition of that particular plant, enrich the plant and the grain with rich in iron, rich in zinc or rich in vitamin A. This procedure of increasing new varieties of rice will be enabling it to have a biofortified rice, but that is natural way. This takes at least 15 to 20 years to really develop a particular variety. This particular area of research is still ongoing and it cannot immediately address the hidden hunger. Henceforth, the government looked forward for the fortification program, where you use the existing rice and fortify it using an extrusion technology, and henceforth we have approach to World Food Program fortification, and that fortification is clearly been adopted in all the fortification extrusion millers, where they follow what does the World Food Program tell for the fortification. If you just go into a very simple way, in this case, when they start the fortification, they have to ensure that the proper rice flour is being taken. If the rice has not been properly coarsely grinded or having a proper proportion of nutrients, or it is already been stored and it has an insects, then definitely this would lead to a malpractices of not having a correct quality. So a proper rice flour and a proper premix and a correct amount of extrusion processing condition, and this state of art or having an extrusion, only good food business operators can adopt and ensure that the nutrients are being present in the final rice. One or two kernel, is it sufficient for nutrition? Generally consumer asks of the rice at very high quantity so that you can get excess amount of vitamins or minerals, because you do not know how much each person consumes, and it is very varied and vivid. Henceforth, the World Food Program and also FSSAI ensure that the kernel should be only 1 in 100, so that it is being balanced and they do not have more amount of vitamins and nutrients. Some consumers have a misnotion that even if I eat excess, nothing will happen, it gets excreted. That is true to certain amount of time, but over a period of time, anything taken in excess, you will also end up in having an overnutrition. So to have a balanced approach and a visionary approach to overcome the hidden hunger, the fortified rice kernel is always blended in the fortified rice. So what does this fortified rice kernel contain? In this kernel, whatever they mix the premix, additional water vitamins, fat soluble vitamins, which are being added into the rice. Because of the chemical property of each vitamin, the vitamin B2 and vitamin A are generally light yellow in color. And if you use iron, different kind of an iron fortificant, then also you will get the rice in more yellow in color. So it should not be misinterpreted that if I don't find an yellow color rice in that particular fortified bag, is it fortified or not fortified? It is not a simple test to really pick up and say that it is fortified or not fortified based on the color change, but it is important that the color change is because of fortification, and that's where when you have a benefit of doubt, you need to see and understand the technology. When you see the extrusion technology, any miller wanted to have a fortification to be done, he need to buy an extruder, and that extruder has very key important components, and those components has to be perfectly designed to really get a kernel which looks exactly like the original fortified rice. Otherwise, it leads to a different kind of quality. You will have the rice kernel very light, and you will have the rice kernel not having the same density. Sometimes have a misnotion that it is like a plastic rice. When I wash it, it just floats, so I will throw it. Maybe they did not fortify. This kind of a misconception is because when they did the extrusion, if they did not process the rice in a proper way, then it will not fit into the exact properties of chemical and physical composition of the original rice. Hence, these part of the processing technology of extrusion, you need to have a training before you adopt it as a miller to start a venture, this particular business. That's what the Panchamrutha's CEO has told, that he has understood the training and adapted this technology so that ensures the proper quality. Once you understand the machine, the second important key point in the fortified rice kernel is what is your raw material. Whether you're using a proper raw material of rice flour or premix, and then ensuring the correct FRK in its composition. These conditions or these compositions of each raw material and the related vitamin premix or rice flour or kernel or rice is been well defined by who actually benefit of it. Before releasing their particular product, they always try to have one certificate of analysis analyzed under the NABL accredited lab, so that they ensure that this rice, whatever is been present, is properly sampled, it is been properly extracted, and it is been identified that, proven that they have added the nutrients. So when they wanted to test the nutrients, the particular laboratory does it in analyze the extraction and uses a high advanced analytical analysis to really see that the nutrient is present in the right amount or not. There is neither excess nor there is less amount of it. And to detect that, the laboratories like referral food laboratories or NABL FSSA notified laboratories who can have the capability of analyzing only can analyze such kind of a fortified rice to ensure the nutrient is present. The 9 vitamins or 9 micronutrients which is added or 3 micronutrients which is added can also be distinguished in the laboratory. We at CSAR, CFTRI, we don't not only do the testing compliance of a particular rice samples at a referral food laboratory, we also have transferred fortified data. Dr. Suresh Sakre, who is a leading scientist in flour milling and baking technology, he has developed this on-floor novel technology, and we have transferred to many government organizations, more than 70 licenses, and this is in the public distribution system currently. We also have several technologies for several products apart from the rice fortification, and almost 400 plus technologies. Some of the technologies are free, some of the technologies we adapt based on the requirement of the food business operators. These are some of our valued customers. We actually assist them and we train them for the particular technology to ensure that they give proper healthy diet and nourish this population. With this few words, I would like to thank you all, and I would like to thank my director CSR CFTRA, who could not come because of his prior occupation, and I would like to thank TechnoServe and Millers for Nutrition to organize this event, to have a consumer awareness both to the manufacturers and also to the consumers to understand what is fortification, how does fortified health can assure the health of the next generation population. Not only the current, it is the next generation. You may always have a doubt, if I eat, do I really not take the tablet? It is never true that by just eating the fortified rice, I will eliminate the deficiency. It is only part of it which supports you in a long run. If you are extremely deficient, you also have to take the dietary supplement along with the fortified health. So with these few words, I would like to thank you all for this opportunity, and thank you all for the time.
Thank you for those evidence-based insights and scientific guidance. I request Mr. Jambulingappa Osmani, Managing Director of Panchamrutha Industries, to felicitate Madam with a token of appreciation on behalf of Millers for Nutrition. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. We are deeply honored to have with us today a leader who has played a pivotal role in strengthening public health system in Karnataka. It is my privilege to invite Dinesh Gundurao, Honorable State Minister for Health and Family Welfare, to deliver his special address.
Of market. I think ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಜಾಗೃತಿಯನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ದಿವಸ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಲಾಂಚನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಡನ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ in today's diet, all these food grains that we normally take, like rice and wheat, are now considered bad diet. ಅದು ತಿನ್ನಬಾರ್ದು, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಲ್ಲ, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದು, ನಮ್ಮ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, it's become almost like people have been moving away, or at least are being told to move away from consuming rice and wheat, all those things. And is also is a well-known, established thing. This introduction, because this is all, I think that is what is most important today, because we are seeing a lot of food habits and we are seeing the impact of that. When we eat food, especially processed food and ultra-processed food, is having a high impact on our health, and leading to, of course, diabetes and hypertension, and that through that, various other diseases, kidneys and so many organs, and so many issues are connected to uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension. So, I think this what is being introduced by Panchamrutha will ensure that along with our regular food diet habits, we make sure that what we normally eat, it becomes more healthy, and which helps us in terms of good nutrition. And for many poor people especially, or our middle class people, this is the main diet. They're not going to be buying some organic food and some costly grains and costly, expensive vegetables, because not everybody can afford it. So for someone whose staple diet is rice and these basic foods, for them they are dependent on this for their energy needs, for their nutrition needs. So by introducing this fortified rice, and also healthy five, that is atta, jaggery, oil, rice and salt. So by introducing fortified grains and fortified food, we are helping them and helping our people see that they're getting better nutrition. So I was just looking at all they have. They have B6, B2, zinc, A, B1, iron, folic acid, B3, B12. So, this is something I'm sure we need to encourage, and my department also is connected to food safety and of course health nutrition also is a part of a proper healthy society need good nutrition. So definitely it's something that we can also, from our department, we can look at promoting to people, and we need to look at all the results and see the scientific. I think you were just speaking, I didn't hear you speak with the NDA, but what is the scientific analysis of all this? How is it helping? How it is impacting? So all these things, if it can be given to us, and I also be one of them. Let me try it and see how it also tastes, because taste also matters, and then also that also becomes something which people may not like. So all these things are also need to be considered in the consumer market. So along with nutrition, it's also the quality and the taste that it produces. So we will definitely look at it, and hope that you succeed in this and it really takes off. And not only from your side, from other people, they can look at what you are doing and they can also learn from it, and they also can imbibe this practice.